Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Liquid TLO and PandaTank. It is a PVZ on Korhal compounds. I believe this may be TLO's best matchup. I know that sounds crazy. It should be ZVT because TLO used to main as Terran. But he also has White Raw as a practice partner, and even Stefano has said that White Raw, after playing Stefano several times, that he has increased his win rate, and White Raw is a challenge for Stefano. So keep that in mind. TLO does practice against White Raw, and that may be why his ZVP is just so scary. And I can't wait to see how this game does play out. I don't know who PandaTank is. He is getting his pylon right here, which means the Forge will go here, the Gateway will go here, the Nexus will go here, and this will be vulnerable to early roaches, but not many Zergs really go for early aggression nowadays. After Stefano has shown them that you can max out in 11 minutes, they're like, oh, why would we ever want to attack before 11 minutes? Because we can just max out on roaches. So I don't think TLO will be that aggressive. If anything, once he scouts this, he will take a third base because many Zergs try to get on 3 bases as fast as possible in ZVP. And I haven't really seen too many pro games on this map, so I can't tell you what style PandaTank is going to be going just because I don't know who PandaTank is. But TLO, knowing his style, he will most likely go for 3 bases, spread that creep very far, and then never try to engage in one spot. Always force engagements on multiple positions because that is how TLO does play this game. The spawning pool does go down at 15. TLO not building another drone. He wants to get his hatch up at 15, and we'll see. Does he go? Nope, he is going to be building another drone. Actually, that is an Overlord. The drone is going to go try to build this one hatch, and it's a little bit odd that TLO did get that Overlord, because if he didn't, he'd be able to get the hatch right now, because that probe did go out of the range of that. So TLO delaying his hatch just a little bit by getting the Overlord. I don't know if he normally gets that Overlord on 15. I would assume it should come after this hatch, but TLO being blocked and getting that Overlord does save him because now he is not supply capped. So that is always a gamble if you want to get the Overlord or not. TLO is just playing this very safe, and the drones are being pulled and decides not to pull them. And now going to mine, but misclicking. There we go. TLO is all back set. Some links come out. They will take care of this pylon. And first they're going to try to take the probe down. At least one should follow the probe so I can see if anything else does come. A forward pylon would be nice to know about. And now PandaTank does have his next up well before TLO can get his hatch. So TLO is a little bit behind, and he should be taking his third base like immediately after he takes his natural to come back economically. He still hasn't got any gas. The Overlord is coming, sees this type of wall, so TLO knows if he wants, he can go for early roaches. But his opponent generally will go for a second cannon in this situation just because he's got this Nexus up well before TLO's natural. So getting the second cannon just plays it safe. I mean, he's already far ahead, so how far do you want to be ahead? Do you want to just get ahead and stay ahead? Or do you want to get ahead and then take a risk of losing if your opponent realizes how far ahead you are and starts going for an all-in? So a lot of times you will see a second cannon go down when the Nexus finishes, when the natural does start. And we'll see if PandaTank does that. He is getting his Cybernetics core. Doesn't really have that good of scout on TLO. Let's see. Sees the pool building and hasn't gone in since then, so he doesn't know if TLO is getting gas. So right now, he doesn't know if TLO is going to do that early roach aggression. And he didn't even see the natural, so TLO could be doing 1 base roaches for all that PandaTank knows, and he is still just happy on 1 cannon. So, going to be playing this a little bit risky. TLO, though, just going to be taking a third base, showing no signs of aggression. So PandaTank does luck out just a little bit. When you make assumptions, you can lose games. It's just that easy. So making this assumption doesn't make PandaTank lose this game, but you can see how easy it would be for him to lose it. Has minimal scouting and is playing very risky just getting that 1 cannon, but let's go beyond that. We do see the warp gates not being chrono boosted. He is at 60 energy and 51 energy. 2 gases, so I'm assuming that PandaTank is going to be going for a Stargate. Since he's not chrono boosting this Cybernetics core, we'll see what he does end up building. Not getting any more gateways. There we go. Chrono boost going both on +1 and this Cybernetics core. And no Stargate, so he is going to be adding on to this gateways. Just a little bit of a mistake not to keep this Cybernetics core chrono boosted for its duration. but it should still be finishing right around 7:30. I think it could finish at 7:10 if it was chrono boosted correctly. We do have TLO, though, up on his 3 bases, just still building drones. We do have a Twilight Council, and with all the gas that he is going to have, getting these extra 2 gases, I'm going to be saying this is going to be a DT rush off of 2 bases, just because I don't know what else PandaTank is going to be using for his gas. He has a lot of gas. Maybe he's just going to get a buttload of sentries, but DTs in this case is much, much more common. I mean, he could go Blink Stalkers, but with Blink Stalkers, you don't need to have this much gas that PandaTank is taking. Forward pylon is also being placed right here. And there's also one all the way down there going down. TLO is going to scout this pylon and be very happy he found it, but there is still one hidden. This probe could probably go into this corner and build another one just in case this one does get found. TLO just barely missing control of that watchtower, while PandaTank does hold this. TLO lost an Overlord. Somewhere TLO lost an Overlord. That's the sentries. Okay, the sentries did kill one Overlord. Gonna be getting the second Overlord. But TLO, he does see all this gas. Let's go see what he sees of the main. And actually, we'll look at that after this battle goes. TLO gonna try to take out this pylon. If he takes this out, the whoopings will still be coming because there is one just to the right of it. These 2 spine crawlers are going to help greatly in defending against this, but TLO does get supply cap. The Darkshine is going down. Pylon does get taken out, which eliminates the immediate reinforcements, but you do see the pylon right here with 1 roach on it. And now we have a handful of roaches for TLO to take out these zealots and the stalkers, and looks like TLO will have enough, getting also a lot of speedlings. And those speedlings will help him chase down any stalkers. All these forces will be going down, but PandaTank is taking out a lot of drones, and behind this, we do have the DTs about to be whooped in. Zealots are in hold position right now. Those stalkers are trying to return home to base. Those lings are going to surround them. Stalkers try to take out the roaches, and they get 1, and those lings just chilling out, get 2 roaches, and that will be all they get. Going to the drones, killed only 3 drones, but we do have 3 DTs morphed in, and 3 DTs is enough to take out a hatch before an Overseer can even morph, and this one zealot is going to be taken out as well. Do have 3 sentries back at home. And TLO now going to be going for that +1 armor carapace. 1 DT going to be going in, so he is going to be targeting all the drones. I think that's a mistake. He may be better off just trying to snipe a hatch, but he instead going to be going for a lot of drone kills. And TLO not running his drones around. This 1 DT, they're just lining on up to get killed by the DT. Nothing over in the main. We do have a Spore Crawler being built, and he is turning down this Evo chamber. And this DT is going to be taken out. The Evo chamber does go down. Going up to the workers killed. He is at 14. And that looks like it's an end to the DTs. This 1 forward pylon is going to be taken out. TLO does have Overlord speed, does have his 4th base on the way up. It is 60 probes to 52 drones. And there's actually another DT in TLO's base. Going to be getting even more drone kills. I don't see that Overseer anywhere near. Actually, there it goes. It does have the Overlord speed, so he moves extremely quickly. But the DT has killed plenty of drones, taking this drone kill up to 20. And TLO rebuilding that Evo chamber so he can keep on going with his upgrades. He is still at 0 upgrades. Had to cancel that 1 upgrade because the Evo chamber did get taken out. So the Protoss player PandaTank is way ahead in upgrades. Going to be at 3-0 before TLO gets a single upgrade. And this is a very bad situation for TLO. But the plus side, TLO is on 4 bases. Doesn't have 4 saturated. Going to his workers 60 to 60. But PandaTank still has this main fully saturated for a little bit. So TLO, he doesn't have a huge advantage right now going in terms of this income. You can look at it, not a huge advantage considering he has +2 bases. Once this main does get mined out, that's when TLO's advantage will come on. So PandaTank has to do something soon, and TLO, he just has to hold on. If he holds on, then PandaTank will fall extremely far behind in income. And TLO will be able to take the game over pure macro despite being so far behind on the upgrades. But if Panda does attack very soon, then he will be in a very nice situation. TLO just keeping an eye on this third base. He is going to be moving in. Looks like he is going to do a little bit of a counterattack. As soon as Tank does get halfway across the map, TLO is ready to just go running in. And those 3 sentries that have been staying back aren't there anymore. Those Stalkers do have Blink, so they may be able to catch up to the Roaches, but TLO looks like he may engage on this, and this will be a mistake. He cannot engage this force. Way behind in upgrades. He has +1 armor, but that's +3 attack for the Protoss player. However, Protoss is not getting any armor upgrades right now. Few Roaches do go down. Same time, this one pylon is going to be taken out. TLO doing a great job at keeping that forward pylon count as low as he can. 127 supply to 191, but that is a lot of Roaches. The supply is a lie. 39 Roaches, that is really a lot of supply. Not that good, though. When this army is these 2 Urkons heavily upgraded with all these high damage Stalkers, this is like an army that can easily kill a horde of Roaches. However, without many forward pylons, has to use the one in his base to get reinforcements before he can keep moving on out. TLO may be in an okay situation. You can see at the same time, he is spreading that creep so diligently. And this handful of Roaches will be taken out. Looks like PandaTank wants to take a third base. TLO, though, setting up for a surround. These Roaches, though, going to be coming in. These Spine Crawlers do not stand a chance. Ling's coming in. Force field, some good force field by PandaTank. Going to stop that surround from even happening. And now all TLO has to do is focus on the Roaches down here. We do have even more force fields. These Urkons just sitting behind, trying to kill all the Roaches. And now everything at the southern side has been taken out, so the Stalkers do blink up. Going to be taking out this handful of Roaches. Meanwhile, TLO is building 20 more Roaches. PandaTank microing his Stalkers around and keeping a lot of them alive. He is still behind on this supply. And TLO does have 2 Infestors out. Those Fungos can prove to be very good, but that blink play may come in just too good. And there we go. PandaTank blinking even more. The Infestors do come. Gets 1 phone growth. Rest Infested Tannins. The Stalkers do blink. Pick off those Infestors immediately. But PandaTank cannot take this third base. TLO has a lot of overlords. Looks like he is just denying the third base from even happening. Stalkers are going to be trying to get taken out as they whoop in, but TLO realizes that he does have to back off. Yes, that is just a horde of overlords saying, nope, no third base for you. And as I said, PandaTank's main will be getting mined out relatively shortly. So he is going to be off just 1 base despite being at 60 workers, and that is not a good situation. Still stacking a lot of minerals with some very nice blink micro, taking those Roaches out with ease. Going in the worker count, it is 70 drones to 60 probes. But going to this main, you can see he is almost mined out. So going to the minerals, you can see TLO, he's mining just about at the same he was before, while PandaTank is mining about half as he was before. And no economic damage has been done. It's just time has passed in the game. PandaTank really going all in, not expanding. Has a Stalker being whooped in so he can scare those overlords away. Jones now being pulled, so maybe PandaTank will kill enough where he will be at 1 base Econ versus 1 base Econ. But TLO looks like he may be able to possibly hold here. That Stalker count is dwindling. Roaches are at +2 armor upgrade. The Stalker's still just at +3 attack. The Transfuse going down on those Roaches, keeping them alive. And PandaTank looks like he is going to be taking out this 4th base. But the 4th base was really just there for Larva. TLO will be happy as long as he can get his 3rd saturated. 45 workers versus 60 workers going in this income. TLO is still ahead despite being behind 15 workers. That is bases being depleted. You can see how oversaturated. Well, that's not oversaturated. There we go. All these probes being transferred. That's not going to really help his income one bit because, well, this base, well, he's just going to long distance mine. Okay. He realizes that won't help him, so screw it. Let's long distance mine. He is definitely all in now. Still not getting that 3rd base. PandaTank has built cannons back by his pylon to help fortify its positioning. And it's all in for this attack. If all these Stalkers do go down, that will be lights out for PandaTank. He can no longer reproduce like TLO can. He has to be very cost effective. And we'll see exactly what he does. He is getting 3 more DTs. That could help him. TLO looks like he's like, you may have a 3rd base, so let's go send things in, kill it. because TLO lost his overload, so he assumes the third base is there, knows if he can kill that third base to prevent it from happening, he will have a huge lead. He gets the third base and sees it's not even there, so TLO could be making a mistake. There is a DT there that will get a few kills before an Overseer can get there, and now PandaTank is free to go into the natural, and if he can take out the natural and the third base and get on back home, he will have a huge lead. He should just ignore the main right now. That's not helping TLO one bit. These Stalkers now, actually these DTs, just have to go to the third base, and the Stalkers could go back on home, and I think PandaTank may have this game, guys. TLO is on the way back to come and defend. PandaTank's natural very close to being mined out. Fungal Growth goes on the Stalkers. Those lanes get back just in time. Those DTs in middle of all the Stalkers now trying to do their best. Fungal Growth goes down on the Stalkers, and it looks like TLO may be able to push these Stalkers back and keep this third base alive. This third base still has a... whoa, maybe not. Doesn't have that many minerals. This natural, though, is completely mined out. He is going for his third base. These Stalkers have to pull home and defend. 85 supply to 120 supply. More DTs being morphed, and TLO is going in for the attack, and he has a lot of dudes. And this third base looks like it will be taken out. These Stalkers way out of position. Gonna be morphing into Archons, and this third base, Sayonara even has Queens. The Queens have decided to migrate north for the summer. Well, maybe that's winter. I don't know, but even the Queens migrate. There are a few roaches back here. These Archons a little late to the party. They could definitely be used. And a little AI screwing them up, actually attacking on the high ground, which they should do. They should be leading the fight. TLO still just at 0-2. PandaTank still just at 3-0. Drones being pulled. The Archons do very well against drones, but this stalk count is getting really low. TLO still has a lot of dudes up north. And it looks like TLO just realizing, let's just regroup, runs into the cannon, loses a roach because of that. And now TLO has all his units right here going to this army supply. It is not much to a lot. DT's getting whooped in. There's no Overseer nearby. Will the DTs get fungal growth? All the Stalkers do fall. Few DTs remaining. This Archon does go down. There's not much left for PandaTank. Those DTs, though, proven to be useful. Roaches being taken out. This one base needs to go down. And gonna try to take out this Korhal. It does get it. One DT lives. The Overseer should be coming on over. The Stalker's trying to run away. They are on creep though. This Lynx gets around. And I think this may be lights out for PandaTank. Never getting that third base up. TLO not really mining. He has 6 drones left. This one DT, does he have an Overseer? Does get fungal growth, and TLO did have an Overseer. GG, well played, amazing game, I would say, between PandaTank and TLO. And we will be opening up these let's see 2 gears and just take a look at what could be TLO's inject. So the last game we saw TLO, what was his inject at 10 minutes? And I heard B Water was Rainbow. And I wasn't impressed by that game, even knowing who he was. Not impressed by just going that pure bio and getting taken over by Tier 3. 11.5 seconds against B Water. Let's go to this game. That's not looking good. 14.3 seconds. At 10 minutes, something happens at the 9-minute mark, so we will be going back in. StarCraft, hold on. Just had a message, had to clear that off while hopefully you couldn't see it. Oh, you could see it. Oh well, we'll go in this. I never was in SC2 gears. My apologies. Again, I look like an idiot. But 14.3 second inject gap for TLO. Rainbow, you can see the game he had again, 11.5 seconds. Wow. I really need a third monitor to keep XSplit up on. That would be so handy. Going back in the game, we will go to this. See what was happening here. TLO somewhere misses an inject, and we are just here to find out why. And it looks like this little poke does come in, distracts TLO, and he'll probably miss an inject on his natural and his main. Going to his queen at his main, you can see already has missed 2 injects, and this is not like TLO one bit. Queen over here hasn't missed any. This queen looks like she may have missed one, may have just been produced early. But going through these games, we can see TLO really misses his injects. And that's not saying anything bad about him. I know I've seen games when he just had superb injects. But what I wanted to talk about is just the hotkeys. Whenever we go to those games when players have 7 seconds, I want you to look at the hotkeys because they have the hatches individually hotkeyed, and they're looking at that creep inject bar. TLO, he doesn't have that. So he never knows if his hatch is injected or not. Of course, he can look at his queen energy, say, oh, I'm above 25. But that's not as easy as just cycling through the hatches looking at that bar. Even he can't easily cycle through his queens because he keeps both of them all hotkeyed. In the early stages of the game, I think it's much beneficial to not have your units on a hotkey. Have hatches 1, your main hatch on number 1, and your secondary hatch on number 2. And then you can have 3, 4, whatever you want. But the main thing is, in the early game, you just don't miss an inject because it is that critical. If you miss injects in the early game, then timing pushes are all of a sudden more scary. Also, missing injects means you can no longer max out at 11 or 12 minutes into the game. That 12-minute inject is assuming you don't miss any injects. And TLO, going back to this, we can see... That's odd, my hotkeys weren't working, but there we go, they are now. So, you can see he did miss. His injects just were not that good. Unit tiers, that's not going to tell us too much. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about the game. You can look at the APM, and just for grins and giggles, where you can see 7 phone grows, 6 infested Terrans, 14 transfuses. So, yep, I hope you guys enjoyed that game, going over these units before I go out. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.